Okay, so welcome back. We're going to be actually getting this email activation working now. So let's we've used our mail test.php. We don't want that anymore. So let's go ahead and actually delete that. There we go. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new field in my database. Now, if I click on users, you can see this username Billy that I registered a moment ago. I'm going to click on the structure tab, and this is going to allow me to add a new column. So I'm going to add it after email. Click go, and the column is going to be email code. Now this is going to be an MD5 hash, so as we're doing with passwords, but it's going to be 32 characters and a varchar data type. So let's go ahead and save that. So we've now got this email code field here. If I browse, at the moment this is empty, which is what we'd expect because we still need to generate this and place it in. I'm going to go ahead and delete this user because obviously we've already gone through the registration process before we've added this functionality. So what do we need to modify? Well, let's go ahead and get rid of login.php. We don't actually need to do anything with that. In register.php down here, remember, we're sending this array of data, so the username, the password, the first name, to be put into the database. Now what we need to do is we need to add another a piece of data here, and that is going to be this this email code that we pass through to an email and allow the user to activate. And obviously the reason we pass this code through is because otherwise the user would just be able to type in their email address into a URL bar and it would essentially register their account. We need some unique field or something, or unique piece of data. So let's go ahead and do this. So I'm just going to pass a new piece of data called email code. And what's this going to be? Well, I'm going to wrap anything that I send here in the MD5 function, and it's going to be the username plus microtime. Now what that will do is it will take the username, it will append it to microtime, so the current time in milliseconds, or I can't exactly remember. Go ahead and look it up in the PHP manual. You could of course use date, which would return the current timestamp, but either way doesn't matter as long as something is unique enough. And then it will encrypt it. It will hash it essentially to an MD5 string or hash. So let's go ahead and actually register a user account with this and see what happens. So we've got nothing in the users table at the moment. I've deleted all of the users. So let's go ahead and register. I'll just go ahead and say Billy. Password will just be password. Password again will just be password, obviously. Say Billy Garrett. Oops. And we'll go ahead and put Billy at phpacademy.org in. Click register, registered successfully. Click on the users table, and you'll now see we've got this email code here. Okay, so that's the result of what we've just done, and that's placed that in there using the function that we created earlier. I won't go back too much into that and waste any time. So we've stored this unique email code. What do we want to do? Well, obviously upon registering this user under the register user function that we created, let's just go over to that now. That's here. So below here we need to send an email to the user containing the code appended to a URL that they can just click on. So obviously I'm working locally, so I can't click through an email onto localhost. Well, I can, but I'm gonna you'll see my mail client formats it odd, so we'll have to copy and paste it anyway. But the point is, here we want to send the email. So depending on how many emails we're going to be sending out, I'm going to go ahead and create a separate email function that's essentially going to use the mail function within it, but it's going to include the header every time. If that doesn't make sense, you'll see in a moment. So in general.php, I need to create a function that's going to essentially send an email. Now we've already seen that mail is very simple, but I'm going to simplify this even more. The reason being is that if I ever wanted to add any more functionality to sending email, I could just go ahead and pop it right into this function. So the email is going to take 3 parameters, to, subject and body, and inside we're going to have a static header. So we're going to use the mail function as it's intended. So we're going to pass through to, subject, body, and we're going to keep the headers the same every time. So I'll say hello at phpacademy.org. Oops. So really we're just shortening this, but again, like I said, if we wanted to add any more functionality to this email function later on, then and if we're using it across our site, it'll be a lot easier. So inside inside users.php, in the register user function, we want to use this email function that we've just created. Now, who do we want to send the email to? Now, remember, we're passing this register data array, so we can access the email. Okay, so here we want to send it to register data email. The subject we want to be activate your account. Now notice here I'm going to place the body in double quotation marks as opposed to singles. The reason being is that we're going to be using the \n escape character, which will essentially not escape character, but it will format a new line, and then that's it. So this will be the body. So let's just pull this down for now, and then we'll put it all in one line in a moment, because you'll see that using this will automatically create line breaks for however many line breaks you do within your editor. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to say hello X. X is just going to be the user's first name. You need to activate your account, so use the link below. Obviously you would write something a lot nicer than this. We would then go, well, would go down a couple more lines. The link would be here, and then we'd just say at the end like PHP Academy or something like that, so from your company. Okay, so hello something. Who's this going to be? Well, let's go ahead and just break out of these these double quotes. If you look at it on one line, it makes more sense. So we have this string here. We concatenate on register user first name. So we're concatenating that on. And let's tell you what. Let's just do it on one line. It just is going to make a lot more sense with breaking out of these of this string. So hello first name, blah blah blah. The link goes up here. There we go. So it's going to look a little messy, but you know, that's just to be dealt with. Okay, so hello something. We need 2 line breaks here, so we're essentially creating a new paragraph. You need to activate your account, so use the link below. 2 more line breaks, so 2 more returns. The link goes here. Now what's the link going to be? In fact, we'll just do 2 more line breaks there. So the link here is going to be http://yourwebsite.com/ and we're going to be creating a new page in a moment called activate.php. So in my case it's localhost /LR, because that's the directory that we're working in here, LR, and that's going to be /activate.php. Now we need to pass some values to this URL, and we can pick these up using the get array of data. So we need to send the email, so the email equals X, and email_code equals X. So where these X's are, we need to replace in the user's email address. So end string concatenate on register data email, and email code equals, so again concatenate on register data. Now remember, we've just added this, so let's go back and just refer to it anyway. Email_code. So we can now go ahead and say email_code, and then a couple of line breaks, and then our signing off. So let's just go ahead. Just go ahead and pull this back up there. Perfect. So now this will send an email to the user's email address who they're registering with, or the email that they're registering with this subject and this body which we've just done. So let's go ahead and delete this user account and actually register once again. Now I'm logged in here, hopefully still logged in, no session expired, as Billy at phpacademy.org. So I'm going to register with this email address, and hopefully it will send this over to me if I haven't made any mistakes. So I type in my username and password that I want, my first name, my last name, and my email address. I click register. You've been registered successfully. Go and check my email, and there we go. So we'll read that in just a moment, but obviously we need some kind of message here just quickly to alert the user that they need to activate their account. So let's go down, and where are we? The success part of this where is it? There we go. You've been registered successfully. Please check your email to activate your account. Okay, so the success message now looks like this. So please check your email, blah blah blah. We go over, we click on this, and there we go. So this looks a bit funny, just the way my my mail client Roundcube formats this. But hello, and we're missing the first name, and we've got some extra spaces here that we don't want. So we'll tidy this up in just a moment. But you can see here that this has placed the email address in here successfully, and it's also placed this email code. Now it's important that obviously this matches what we have in our database. So this starts with a D1 and ends with a DA, so let's just check that. And there we go, we've got a D1 and a DA. So now we can pass these through to a script and check that the email matches the email code, and then set active to 1. Relatively straightforward. Okay, so let's just go and clear this up with regards to the addressing the user and these extra spaces, and then we'll go ahead and paste this in. Okay, so we're sending it to that email, that works. We're saying hello register user. There we go, registered data, that needs to be. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you spotted that. We've got an extra space there. We also had an extra space just there. So let's go ahead and delete this. Let's go ahead and register again just to make sure it's worked. I know this is a bit tedious, but obviously we don't want to leave ourselves with any problems. So again, we just register with all the same data. I've had it a million times before. Click register and blah blah blah. Over to our email inbox. There we go. This time, hello Billy. That's fine. No extra spaces. Perfect. So now we can continue. Well, we've got one on there, but I'm going to ignore that for now. I'm sure you'll be able to sort that out. So we've got our new email code. Remember, we are concatenating the username and the current time, and then that's going to be different every time because the current time changes. So this is how this code is unique. So let's go ahead and just copy this and paste it into our browser window. The user would basically click on this or copy and paste it the same. So let's duplicate this window, paste that in there and press enter. Object not found. We haven't created our activate.php page yet, but we're going to be doing that. So we'll go ahead and we will create this in the next part of the video.